Music, laughter, rejoicing, many languages, several countries. A contagious joy spreads from land to land. Love overflows from thankful hearts. A new hope emerges in many depressed areas around the world. Lives are being changed, environments reshaped. The love of Christ manifested in His people transforms the world. You are a part of this transformation. You celebrate hope with the poor of this world. In helping to provide decent housing for God's people in need, you are a celebration. Because of the love of Christ in each of you, you can celebrate the ministry of Habitat for Humanity. You are a celebration, and you are a revolution. You, your actions, thoughts, and prayers are changing the world. Empowered by God's love, you seek to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Building or renovating houses that will become homes for those without them, and selling them with no profit and no interest is a revolutionary idea. It's an old idea, as old as the 22nd chapter of Exodus. Just think where we might be if we'd followed this godly principle throughout history. Now we are putting this concept into action. Consider yourself a revolutionary in God's kingdom. The revolutionary idea of Habitat for Humanity has spread a long way since its incorporation in 1976. Habitat projects are active in many parts of the United States. Concerned people across the U.S. continue to respond to the need in their area, and new hope is blossoming in more and more places. Around the world, God's people are acting on a vision of eliminating substandard housing and helping His people in need. The needs are awesome, but the hope is greater. Each year, more and more deplorable houses are replaced with simple, decent homes. This work expands because people like yourself have taken seriously words such as these from Deuteronomy. If there's a poor man with you, one of your brothers, in any one of the towns in your land, you shall not harden your heart, nor close your hand from your poor brother. But you shall freely open your hand to him, and shall generously lend him sufficient for his need in whatever he lacks. This would seem hopeless, but you're part of a group that has overcome the devil's favorite diversion of, "Ha, that's impossible." And with your changed heart and open hands, you are proving that with God all things are possible. We can walk in victory with our brothers and sisters around the world. Changed lives and hearts. That's what it's all about. If you need any more evidence of those changes, just look around you. Hard-working volunteers are the lifeblood of this effort around the world. No project can function without willing volunteers for the major portions of the work. You give your time, money, talents, energy, and prayers as part of God's call on each of your lives. God gives all of us the same call in different ways. The rewards come in knowing the joy of others moving from hopelessness to hope, in understanding the reality of brotherhood with all persons, and in seeing Christ in the faces of those with whom you work. Whether swinging a hammer or mailing hundreds of letters, whether digging latrines and foundations, or carrying sand and rock for miles, or whether spreading the word to many or just to the neighbor next door, the compelling force is the love of Christ in each of you. You are willing to pass on that love which Christ so freely lavished on all of us. Some leave home for foreign lands. Some leave well-paying jobs to be able to devote more time. Others give time as they can. Numbers of retired persons choose to work for others during their leisure years. Volunteer Mary Hutchison of Indiana talks about her experience as a volunteer in Immokalee, Florida.
There are people who need that kind of relaxation by the beach, but I think it's much more exciting to come here and feel as if we're a part of the habitat movement, which we feel truly is God's will here on earth, and that we are making a difference in other people's lives, not just here for our own pleasure. And when we see the look on the faces of the people last year, for instance, for whom we built a home, and saw the light in their eyes and the joy that that home was bringing them, it was all the work from dawn to dusk was very worthwhile.
To many people, these sacrifices would seem foolish, but the Scriptures are quite direct about our calling. The Apostle Paul directed the church in Rome not to be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. Paul also urged the church, through the mercies of God, to present their bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is their spiritual service and worship. He wanted them to join in the celebration. There's plenty for all of us to do. The task is monumental. How can we sit back? We cannot pray, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven," and do nothing about the substandard housing all around us. It's hard to imagine God allowing dilapidated housing to exist for His people in heaven.
Because I have been given much, I too must give. Because of thy great bounty, Lord, each day I live. I shall divide my gifts from thee with every brother that I see, who has need of help from me, from me. Because I have been sheltered, fed by thy great care, I cannot see another's lack, and I not share. My glowing fire, loaf of bread, my roof safe shelter overhead, that he too may be comforted. Because love has been lavished so upon me, Lord, a wealth I know that was not meant for me to hoard, I shall bring love to those in need, shall show that love by word and deed. Thus shall my thanks be thanks indeed.
Whoever has the world's goods and beholds his brother in need and closes his ear against him, how does the love of God abide in him? Little children, let us not love with word and tongue, but in deed and truth. These words from 1 John 3, verses 17 and 18 should plunge deeply into our hearts. Through the Holy Spirit, God has given us the ability to take such action. His transforming love enables us to reach out to others. Decent homes and decent communities around the world is our vision. And that vision is possible through God's abiding love. We ask you to join us in this celebration, a celebration of love and work as we offer ourselves to each other in the name of Christ.